So I want to clarify from the video last night on Bitcoin futures, this is the CBOE contract. It is not 5 Bitcoins, it is only 1, and the point value is 10. The CME Bitcoin futures will come out next week, and the contract specs will be a little different. And so we were looking at the CME contract specs while we were looking at the CBOE futures. We had the data right, we had the symbol right, and I'll outline those in the link connected to this video. But the XBT on the CBOE, and then on the CME Group, it'll be the BTC symbol. It'll be 5 Bitcoins. This is 1. So if you want to trade this one, you'll trade smaller. I assume there will probably be more liquidity on the CME Group version of this. And so have many of you interested in strategies for this? And one of the trades, if you want to take a trade, I don't recommend it because the liquidity is small. But what we're seeing here is a classic pattern. This market, the cash market sold off in anticipation of the futures, but the liquidity is so small that it just kind of popped on the open because there were no sellers. And so the natural bids came in, kind of like an FOMC event when the market just kind of sells due to a lack of bidding. And then once the FOMC or whatever news event comes out, the market rallies regardless of what it says in that news event or the FOMC minutes, because it was just a lack of bidding going into the event. Now the bidding is back. You see this rally in Bitcoin futures, kind of, I mean, it's a lot of points, 3,000 points, but it's kind of slow, and it's not at all-time highs. The Bitcoin Cash is still about 1,000 away from all-time highs on Poloniex, but this is a classical pattern, could turn into a classical pattern of rally, sideways action, and then a second rally. And so those of you that are looking for trade ideas, some of you that are looking for trade ideas and trading systems, I do have some trading systems for the cash, but I would hesitate to use them now on the futures. You could use them on the cash. Also, shorting this market, once the market has price movement that's good for shorting, it'll be a different type of market. It's pretty much a one-way market. There have been some big crashes in the Bitcoin Cash market, 80 and 90%, but they're so rare. It'd be hard to short this market on a regular basis. In my opinion, it's been parabolic up, and so I would be more in favor of buying the pullbacks. You cannot short the cash anyways, but you can short the futures, and so there'll probably be more opportunities for shorting the futures, but we'll have to wait until we have some data before we can really say we have a decent strategy to go forward with shorting futures. But one trade that is more of a discretionary trade is to look for a second leg up. You could buy it on a little bit of a pullback, and look for a move to 20,000 in this market. It may not work. It may just turn around and go back down and take out the lows. If you look at IPOs, a lot of times they'll go up on the first day or two, and then they'll go down. And so this could do the same thing. This could be like an IPO where it comes out of the gate strong, and then, you know, for the next week or two, it could go south. And so that's my input on Bitcoin futures. Again, I don't recommend trading them, but if you do want to take the long side, you cannot put stops in. You can only put stop limits in on this, and so you'll get a lot of slippage. The point value here is for one contract between the current bid and the offer is $90. 17,920 versus 18,010. It's $90 since we're only trading one contract. And last night those wide spreads were around $200 and not $1,000, because we're talking about one contract and not 5. And so that's the latest on Bitcoin futures. Look forward to the CME Group version of this coming out next week, and for liquidity to pick up as we continue to research this market. I'll let you know if I see anything new and if I have any strategies for this market.